right, CSS battle time, and we have polka dots. Okay. Two thoughts on this. I think the simplest way to do this is to just box shadow all of them. They look like the same size and shape, and repeating shapes like that would be a box shadow. The only reason I wouldn't do necessarily a gradient offhand is the arrangement. Is we could do columns or we could do rows, but we can't do these offset rows. We could do a radial arrangement using sine and cosine, and then but that's just way too much work and way too many characters, sibling count and all that. But I think just making the central one and box shadowing it around is going to be the most reliable method. I mean, you could have I feel like someone's going to end up having like a border dotted, and they have like just staggered elements to make this, and I'm sure it's going to be some ridiculously short method doing it that way. I think if we use the box shadow method, we can just go pure box shadow. Yeah, not pure box shadow. We got to do border radius and margin, but let's start the timer, and I'll put in the description how this goes. I think I'm just gonna do box shadow. That'll work. Feel like we can do 0 and then 9-inch, and then the purple for the background is what we'll end up doing. Radius is going to be 2-inch, I'm guessing. And we're going to margin it down to that first one. We'll have to do an inset box shadow for that one. Yeah, I'll have to do inset. Otherwise, would be margining it to some other spot. 90 by 150. There. I mean, we have the right shape, so let's just get our box shadows in order. All right. So inset 0, 0, 0. Or actually, I wonder if I can just go like to like 90. Is it, if it's less than 90 pixels across, I can do that. Okay, so we have to do 3 digits, but we can just go 2-inch there and then make it this. So that way I don't have to do the extra 0 and the blur, and then it's just a few extra spaces, and this works just fine. I'm already doing an inset, so why make it more difficult? All right, now I get to figure out whether the order for stacking is above or below. All right, so I got to do these first. X, that. We're going to put them at the beginning, right? Yeah, there we go. And let's use the color property because we're going to do a lot of the same color, this light color here. So let's just declare it once for all of these. Makes sense, right? We don't need that color property there. 100, 120. Oh, I like that it's 120, 100. Nope. 80, 70. Don't like that as much. But at least the offset is 120 degrees, so 120 pixels. That's pretty easy to reduce down to something a little bit shorter if that's what we have to use. Okay. What am I doing? Just a bunch of box shadows. We're just gonna keep going. Negative 70 pixels. All right. And then we're gonna go 0 and negative 100 pixels. 120, 130, 140. Okay, good enough. And then we're gonna go 0 and 140 pixels. So, it's working out, it's fine. I'm not gonna try moving the margins around in order to save some of these negatives. I don't think it's worth it. not with the way this is lining up so nicely. So we are going to go negative 120 pixels by 70 pixels, and then negative 120 by negative 70. Okay, and let's hit submit. Let's see if it takes it. I mean, that's real short and easy, but I think this is the one time just straight box shadows will not be the shortest. So let's do find and replace. Oh, it's not registering the negatives. Okay. That is 30 VW. Correct. Okay. VW. Good. All right, now 70. This is the one. If I can get this to work with like Q or something. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Hopefully 74Q translates across all of them. Yep. Let's see what we can do. Control D, 74Q. Okay, and then do we have any more? We do not. Let's hit submit, see if it's still happy. That's a great place to start. How's my timer doing? I've got 10 minutes left. That was fast. I think I'm okay with trying a border dotted solution. Let's go ahead and minify this. I want to see where it ends up at. 157. Oh, I missed some 140s there. We can shave a few more characters off. That's going to be 35 VW. And 35 VW, and then we don't need a space between the minus and the 0. There we go. Okay, so we're at 154 characters for pure box shadow. All right, let's actually erase all of this and look at what a border dotted, and I don't know, it's going to be like, and no, not 80 pixels, like 100 pixels. That's right, put the right, yeah. Ooh. All right, let's margin it in. Let's make it the right color, just to, yeah, make it easier to see with the black. Margin is going to be 20. We lose one of the dots. Okay, 25, 30. Okay. That's not quite right. So 20 on the top and 30 on the sides. Interesting. There might be something there. It's just I need another element to sit inside. Like, I'm not sure how to get them to line up properly. That would be the trick here. I think I would need a background. Oops, I don't know how I do that. Every time I type background. I think it's the way I'm typing. I must bump the trackpad. That's got to be it. You know? Okay. So, let's say we throw in the body here. Now, what does that look like? It looks like that. Interesting how it just becomes one uniform shape once it's margined down. Let's play with its margins and just see what happens. Okay. All right. So we can't put, let's take the background off actually. I think I'd have to solve that problem separately. All right. 80. Ooh, interesting. Okay. 80 puts it right there. And then there we go. That's pretty spot on. And so then if I had two elements in the middle that were just really tall, would that work? And I can just, write a separate selector for the background. I mean, I feel like a box shadow inset would work too, but that's pretty long to write, and the body and everything else would overwrite it. So this is working because just on the HTML, everything else is going to be transparent. There's that, I can see the divot in the sides, but I wonder if that'll show up. Sometimes you can get away with that kind of shape there. Let's just see what happens when we throw paragraph tags into the mix. I don't think, yeah, it's nothing good. Okay, there we are. So I need them to actually either collapse in on themselves completely, and they will not. Either collapse in completely or move one side off to the side. So let's say 0, and then this is right, -100, and then 0 and 0. Okay. Oops, wrong button. 200, 300, 400. Curious. That's that. And then it comes back. Okay. I mean, I could do a position fixed. I wonder why it's being like that. All right. Now the top, -50. Now that's moving everything around. All right. I wonder if I just do a position. I just kind of want to see how this is going to. Okay, there we go. Oh, I think I see what I was seeing. I was just I understand what I was seeing now. The position fixed helped. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of that. What I was seeing was 100. Let's get rid of the second paragraph tag. Okay, so that's what we got. 30 or 20. Let's see if we can get that edge in line. Yeah, 20 is where it needs to be. -100 is the top, and then -100 is the bottom, but it's not dropping any. I feel like, let's see what happens when we throw in a period. There we go. Now we got some movement here. All right. Okay, we can move the top up. I want it to, I wonder if I have to put in a height. That's it. Okay. So if I give it a height, we get overflow. Negative margin does not give it a height. So I think what I'm seeing right now is this is the smallest that this paragraph tag is going to get, and it's at the width of what the body is. And that's why it's not expanding anymore, even with negative margin. So position fixed is kind of, it's my most reliable tool to get around that. Other than setting like height on the body and setting it at a fixed, if you give the body a set height, then when you overflow something else, it's not going to expand beyond that fixed height. That's why usually you want to use like min height or max height or something like that. So then things are flexible and you don't have overflow issues. So if I do that, let's get rid of the margin gobbledygook. Actually, we want some gobbledygook, but just a bit. I only have a minute left here, so I don't think I'm going to finish this solution, but it was kind of fun to test it out. Padding, I'm going to make it really tall and wide. Oh, I see. The dots are always that far apart. Okay, let's go zoom 2. Okay, we get bigger dots. But are they spaced more? All right, let's make the border width 50. Nope, it evens out at that point. Okay. How do I make? Oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Negative 100, and then 50. No, 20. There it is. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna move the top and bottom so far up that we don't see the top or the bottom. That was my goal. I don't think I did that right now. Okay, good. Oh, probably because I need to increase that. There we go. We don't need this. And we don't need this. I just needed more. Of this. There we go. Now we can move it around a bit. I don't think I actually want to move it like this. Okay, that seems pretty good. A little bit more. I think I'm going about it wrong. Oh well, I think I'm going to leave this. I'll go back to my other solution and call it good. But I guess you could get it that way. I'm curious to see what the top ones will be tomorrow. All right, that was fun. Thank you.